Okay, am I both visible and audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, assuming that I am, my speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Judge, government side is a world where rich people can spend a bunch of money on their children to make them smarter and sportier and more. This world is not equal, Judge. This is actually filled with bullying, filled with whatever they're trying to mitigate. So the biggest problem coming from opposition is that they had such a small portion of what happens to the world. If parents actually can change their child's whatever characteristics, except for personalities, what are they actually going to do? They probably care about their child and the happiness of the child, but parents have this characteristic of thinking that success would be the main key to their child's happiness, right? So if they have the good heart, they're probably going to make their child really intelligent, probably sporty, and also very healthy. B, even if they do not have a good heart and they sort of want to get the money from the child when they actually grow up and when they get a job, they're also going to make their child competent. So therefore, these parents are likely to make their child really competent. In fact, our DLO already dealt with this, but reminding, and they should have run arguments like economy, solving demographic problems, and equality, rather than the minor things they actually give us that does not have much impact. So, Judge, before we move on to the main 3 clashes that should have come up in this debate, I would like to engage with what they actually give us. So they were basically saying things like, which is completely irrelevant, people who can't have babies can actually get hope by this technology. Well, Judge, this motion clearly states characteristic of their babies. So if these parents cannot have babies in the first place, we believe that this is completely irrelevant to the motion. They cannot do anything about this. And then when we actually talked about medical surgery, we already mentioned that the status quo can actually give them surgery. Their response was that the surgery might fail, right? That was the pretty much only response. But then, Judge, let's talk about the time period this debate takes place in. Assuming feasibility, this is probably a few decades later where people can actually control the DNA of babies. So, Judge, thinking about it rationally, if we have the technology to manipulate the DNA of new babies, why would we not have the technology to give surgeries successfully to different types of babies, right? This is the point where they fail miserably. And then the point about diversity and bullying, Judge, this is pretty much weird because they were basically saying things like, oh, people are going to be confident in themselves. They're probably going to not bully each other. But Judge, I would like to mention here that bullying actually comes in many different types of forms. Just because you do not have a disability doesn't mean that you're completely safe from being bullied. Bullying has a lot of factors. 1, maybe because you're like less handsome or less good looking than others. 2, maybe you're not as rich as other people. Or 3, maybe you're not academically successful than other people. So therefore, we believe that the proposition can never really get rid of bullying completely. So first class is equality versus diversity. But Judge, 2 reasons why government cannot even have complete equality. 1 is that they cannot get rid of the birth lottery. Coming from the PM, they already framed the technology that requires a lot of money, right? Because the government has to fund them if they want their child to be saved, right? This means that the rich people can spend more money to make their child a more advanced person, right? On the other hand, the poor people cannot even spend a single dime. So, Judge, this is detrimental to the society because a lot of people are probably going to left with no choice in the super competitive society where rich people can actually make their child super smart. And also, second, because they do not solve the birth lottery, this also means that they're not only going to have good children, but they're also going to have good private children. Leads to out of order. This ultimately leads to inequality issues deeply. 2, which that actually protects the minority better. So, Judge, I would like to mention here that the proposition never even showed any type of engagement with the most vulnerable stakeholders of this debate, which are the previous generation, the adults who actually got their children, right? Because they're old, because they don't have much energy, because also they're not as competent as the new generation, they're probably going to be left without jobs, and what is going to happen to them now, right? So ultimately, we win the second clash. And third, which side actually has a more stable society? Since proposition never showed any type of engagement to this, we also take this clash home. Therefore, very proud to oppose. Thank you.